Why on earth can the Bitcoin price not go up when the Bitcoin ETF has just recently been approved? Is this just a sell the news event, or is there something more fundamental going on here? Well, you might have heard of the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, and you might have heard that a lot of Bitcoin is flowing out of that Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, potentially depressing the price with the ETF approval. So there was a fairly popular trade with the chart behind me. Just a year ago, you could buy the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust for a discount of 47%. So you got your Bitcoin basically for half the price, and then you could speculate on Grayscale getting approval to convert to an ETF, which in the end happened. So that's why nowadays we see zero discount. That's why the people that bought 1 year ago now got a 2x on their investment, measured in Bitcoin even. So even on top of the Bitcoin return in that year. And so one explanation is why Bitcoin can't go up is because people take profit. Here are the daily outflows out of the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. Every day money is flowing out of Grayscale, and Grayscale is thus liquidating the position. It's thus selling that Bitcoin on Coinbase. Now that's not the full story, because we've got all these other ETFs where we have our inflows, right? Why do we have all of this data? Why do we know the exact inflows and the exact outflows? Again, that's the beauty of the blockchain. We can look at the blockchain, we know the holders, we know the wallets of those ETFs, and we can track how much money is flowing in and out of those wallets. And so I will put a link to all of the statistics that we see in this video down below in the video description, and those statistics update every day. So this is not a one-time snapshot. This is a link where you can daily monitor the ETF flows. Early buyers now will make millions. That's how you get clicks on YouTube, but that's not necessarily how you really make money. The way to make money with crypto is to be more skilled than others, to know more than others, to do blockchain analytics better than others. It's the boring technical content that doesn't do well on YouTube, but that forms skills, and that I offer in the premium membership. So there's a lot of tutorials over there, how I approach analyses. And if you join, you also get direct access to me. You can ask me any questions and I reply as fast as I can. We are still below 100 people, so I do have enough time to reply everyone. Feel free to check it out. It's thebitcoinstrategy.com. Now, if the story I just told you about people taking profit from the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust discount is the entire story, then things would be great, because that would mean that at some point all of those profit had been taken, and that then at some point we will see net inflows. But probably that's not all there is. Because besides people taking profit, a lot of people are likely also just reallocating from their current Grayscale Bitcoin Trust exposure to the new ETFs. They might be shuffling the capital because of the fees. So have a look at this. This is the overview of all the Bitcoin spot ETF issuers. And here in this column, we can see that Grayscale has the highest annual fees of 1.5%. It does not matter to what ETF you allocate to, you save more than 1% per annum, irrespective of what you choose, if you move from Grayscale to somewhere else. Now, there might be a few things that stop this conversion, and one of those things could be taxes, right? If you now sell your Grayscale Bitcoin Trust ETF shares and you buy something else, you might have a taxable event. But for a lot of institutions that bought into Grayscale, that taxable event might not even be relevant, because they might be incorporated outside of the US. Now, if that effect from money flowing from Grayscale to all the other ETFs is actually the major effect, which could be the case, right? Because the trading volume tends to be moving in similar magnitudes on any given day for the sum of the ETFs versus the sum of Grayscale. If that's actually the main contributor why there's money outflows out of Grayscale, then this is not good, because then we don't see net inflows into the ecosystem. Let's add this all up. So on this chart specifically, we can also look at the net flows. And some days we are positive, some days we are negative, and we can look at the aggregate over here. This started at 619,000 Bitcoin and is now at 647,000 Bitcoin. That's good, that's expansion, but most of that expansion happened in the first days. If we just start looking from the 18th of January to today, we actually do not see any increase. 648,000 Bitcoin to 647,000 Bitcoin, even a reduction in 1,000 Bitcoin in the matter of 2 weeks, roughly. This is not what we want to see, right? We want to see a constant increase. Now, are we 100% sure that we're tracking already all the wallets? No, of course we're not. Those wallets aren't being publicly disclosed by the issuers, at least for every issuer besides Bitwise. But there had been quite a bit of investigation, especially by Arkham Intelligence, that connected those wallets to the issuers. So there's a high likelihood that this is all correct. It's not 100% sure though. What does this all mean? It means that maybe the Bitcoin ETF, the longer it runs, could potentially be somewhat of a disappointment, right? We haven't seen a lot of expansion. We saw some inflows, but they hadn't been massive, and those inflows have even stopped in the last 2 weeks. Does this mean that Bitcoin has to crash from here? Of course it doesn't. But it also means that it's probably not going to be the Bitcoin ETF that will push Bitcoin to the moon, that will bring us to 200, 300, 400,000 in the next year. It's unlikely going to happen. It's not what we currently see in the data. So maybe we have to get used to price action like this for a while. If it's your first time here, feel free to subscribe. I publish regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. And I will post the Dune dashboard down below, the link to the statistics we discussed here. Down below is also a link to a Telegram, a free Telegram. Feel free to join. Looking forward to chatting with you. Cheers.